There are a lot of questions surrounding the Mets, who for the first time in a decade have lost 5 series in a row. Let's see if the co-host of the Amazing But True podcast, Jake Brown, has some answers to these questions as he joins me now. What's going on, Podfather? How you doing?
Knicks are at least alive, but the Mets look like a dead man walking so far early in the season. Hopefully they could turn this ship around against another lousy team this weekend.
Well, they've been playing some lousy teams and they haven't been able to get wins, so let's see what happens. Now, Jake, with as bad as the Mets have looked lately, they now sit 18 and 20. They're fourth place in the NL East. Question here is, who's to blame for the Mets' woes this season?
I think the blame just goes across the board here. Listen, it starts with your starting pitching, and the Mets starting pitching has been dreadful from top to bottom. Max Scherzer's been bad. He's been hurt. He's been suspended. Justin Verlander's only made a few starts. He's been good so far. Outside of that, Carrasco, bad and injured. Tyler McGill, not as good as he was last year. David Peterson does not look like a major league pitcher. Kodai Senga has been solid, but not good enough. He's command problems, having trouble adjusting to the new baseball, the different mound. So he's been up and down and inconsistent. So that's all your guys. Joey Lucchesi had one good start. Outside of that, not been good. Middle relief, not good. Ottavino, decent. Robertson, good. Across the board, you see the pitching's been bad. And then when they do pitch, they don't hit enough. And their lineup has been inconsistent. Vogelback has got to be replaced here. You got to call up Vientos or Mauricio, one of the two. I know they don't have a position, but Vogelback is paid to hit for power, not just walk. I know his OBP is good, but you're not hitting fifth or sixth to walk with runners at first and second. You want to drive guys in, and he leaves too many pitches that are down the middle, letting them go, and they need someone to provide some pop. So they need help in this lineup. And Starling Marte's been terrible. Starling Marte was a key piece of this team last year. And down the stretch, when he was hurt, you saw the Mets falter. And that's a big part of this lineup that's been bad. And guys who had great years last year have had down years so far. So A to Z, this team has underachieved. And guys who were great last year are having down years so far. And it's got to change quick.
All right, spreading the blame all around. And last thing I'm going to ask you here, Jake, is with the way this team has been playing lately, what is your concern level at right now? And is it getting late early for the Metropolitans?
Listen, there's still 124 games left. If you look at the previous World Series champions across the board, a lot of them recently have started off with similar records to what the Mets are at in May. So it is not call off the season, end of the world. Yet these guys just got to turn it around. There isn't many answers from within. Vientos, Mauricio, those are the two guys. After that, those are two batters. We haven't mentioned any pitchers because there's not anyone left. So if Scherzer were to miss more time or significant time, they are in deep trouble because David Peterson doesn't look like a major leaguer. And, the rest of the rotation has been suspect. So they don't have a lot of answers. They got to go with these guys. They just have to play better. Maybe it takes some rallying cry, some Donnie Stevenson, a mustache, something, one of those cool little stories to get this team going. First, you got to win. And then once you get a couple wins together, maybe it's this imaginary friend, like imaginary hitting coach, like a Donnie Stevenson. But something has got to give for this team because they are too good to be this bad. So turn it around. And Buck Showalter deserves some blame too, but he's not hitting, he's not pitching. Guys are just underperforming. 2 words, play better. And then we'll see what the Mets are. But if they're not, around 500 or better by the end of the month, I would definitely be a little bit concerned then because this division is very good. And there might be 3 teams in this division that make the playoffs.
All right, if they don't turn it around by the end of the month, you heard it from Jake Brown, he will be very concerned. But he's saying there's some time, so maybe it's not getting late early just yet. That is Jake Brown, co-host of the Amazing But True podcast. Always great insight on the Mets. Jake, good talking to you. Hopefully things turn around for the Amazings.
Beat the Nationals, please. Enough losing to bad teams. Thanks for having me.
No problem.